Hey traders, this is a recap for yesterday and for today. So we'll look at yesterday really quick. Yesterday was one trade, one and done, and it was it was kind of a banger trade. So we went into the market. Open was up here. We had news at 8:30. I think it was unemployment. Created a data low. Afterwards, market continued to go up, and then on open, it just went sideways for a little bit. And my expectation was actually, I thought we were going to go up and then go down, creating a high for the week. But it actually just the opposite of that happened. We opened up, we came down. We did have two big draws down here. We had a data low from the 8:30 news, and we had two equal highs here and here, and then a relatively equal high. So before the news, it came down and it didn't take this liquidity. It left it. That makes that a very powerful liquidity draw right there. So on the open, once it started to come down, we got our first minute fair value gap. We took this data low, and then we took the relatively equal lows. We did create a fair value gap here. I did not take that trade because I just suspected that we were going to get another push down. And of course we did. So for this leg, our CISD would have been up here. We came up, made a new high, made a new low. Our CSID is here now. We've also created a breaker block. We came up after we swept here. We swept this previous low right there. We just swept that, and we came up through the breaker block, created a CISD, and then as we went up, based on the CISD and the breaker block, and we also closed above here, I took an entry. I entered 3 contracts. So then, as price continued to push up relatively quick, we inverted this first fair value gap. I took another entry right there with 3 contracts, and we rode that all the way up to the previous data high target. So that was basically $1,000 trade per account, and the reason it was 1,000 is because that's my cutoff for Apex for consistency. So banger trade yesterday, really super happy with that. It's always nice when you get one and done, and literally I'm done by 10 o'clock New York time, which is 7 o'clock my time, which is nice. I get to go live my day. So today is a different story. Let's look at today. Today was NFP day, and my expectation was that just this. There was I don't have marked on here, but there was I believe a high about here, and then there was another high up here. Here, let's just look at them. We had previous day high. We had a high right here, and then we had the previous day high, which was right there. So what happened today is pre-market, we had news, NFP. I was expecting for us, because I was bearish. Before the market even opened, I was very bearish on the day. And so NFP did not leave a data low, but it did give us a nice candle up. And then after the NFP, we came up, we took out the previous day high, and I was expecting to come up and take out this high right here. And so this is where the trouble began. I just to preface this a little bit, I didn't sleep well last night. I was up about 1:30 my time, which was about, I don't know, 4:30 New York time. So I was pretty tired, and I know that when I'm tired, I got to be really careful about trading, because my mental capacity is just, you've got to be able to be sharp when you're trading, and I wasn't sharp. And so what I did was this. We opened up, we shot up, we closed above this high right here. I jumped in a trade long to take it up to here. And let's look at that. We created a breaker block. We traded above that breaker block on the open. I entered. We came back down and it took a full stop. So that full stop was basically, I risked 400 on every trade. I took a full stop on that trade. Okay. So second trade. Second trade is that, again, we had our open, we came up, we came down, we had there's a fair value gap here, so we have an IFVG, we closed below it, I entered the trade on an IFVG, which is my model. It came down, because my profit target was down here, London low. Came down, came back up, closed me out on a full stop. Now I'm down another 400, I'm down 800. So I'm tired. I jumped into a trade I probably shouldn't have taken. That wasn't my model. I took a second trade, which was a valid trade, but I lost. So this is where it gets interesting. Trade number 3. We came down and we create this breaker block right here. And we come back up, because this is where I got in right here, came down, came back up, stopped out on trade 2. Trade this. So here's my thinking on this trade right here. If as we know, the market likes to manipulate before it gives you the real move. So it would be easy to assume this is manipulation, right? Manipulation, and there's your expansion. But we didn't get expansion right here. What we got was just up to the first fair value gap and rejected. So that tells me right there that the manipulation is this move right here. This was the manipulation right there. Because if this was the manipulation, this would have expanded up higher, and it didn't. So therefore, my analysis was correct. I was looking for a short. So what we did is we created this breaker block right here. We also, if you look, we also created a fair value gap right here, right? And another fair value gap right here. We would look at this as being a breakaway gap. We came down, closed below this breaker block right here, and I took an entry right here after we closed below on that breaker block. Okay, it's all good, right? No, it's not. What happened is we started coming back up because I was tired, because I'd taken 2 losses. I was gun shy. I flattened this trade right here. right there. A few ticks before the trade that I had in my head before the market even started, before it played out. This trade right here, from here to here, would have been around $2,200. It would have covered my first two losses and given me my $1,000 for my my Apex account. But no, I jumped out because of fear, lost 150. So now I'm down 950 for the day, and I get to watch it go down to my target, and I'm done. After three losses, I'm done. So what did I learn? I learned number one is when you're tired and you come to the market, put some guardrails on. And for me, guardrails would have been expecting more from the market before I decided to take a trade. This up here, this first trade, was not expecting more. This was, I jumped in. Number two is that second trade, although second trade was valid, it just didn't play out. I mean, if I had not taken this one and took this one, I still would have been in the money. So number one, put some guardrails on or trade less. Okay, I could have traded less and still been in profit at the end of the day. Number two, be patient. I had the right idea. I was right on the money, but I jumped in on the first trade and it messed up my mental game. So what's the moral of the story? If you don't get enough sleep, then be cautious when you trade. Be cautious. Anyway, I hope that benefits some of you. It is definitely an eye-opener for me. I've often suspected when those days when I didn't get sleep that my mental game wasn't where it needed to be. I am going to start tracking that now, though, so that from here on out I can get an idea of where I'm at if I don't get enough sleep. Anyway, we appreciate you all, and God bless, and we just give Jesus all the glory. Be blessed.